another edition of Cooking with Cliff. I'm your host, Cliff. My work week's over. It's now the weekend. It's time to kick back, relax. I'm going to start planning some meals for the upcoming week to make things easier. Society tells us pretty well every day what to do. You go to work, boss tells you to file this report, you get this done, you come home, supposed to tell you to take out the trash, that you clean your room, to go walk the dog. Even coming down to a little simple, box of soup that I found. Add 7 cups of water, simmer, boil, blah, blah, blah. Don't pass go, don't collect $200, blah, 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 blah. You know what? I'm tired of rules, so I'm going to take this. I'm going to modify it into something that's a little more, a little more enjoyable, because that there is just basically a box of salt. I'm going to add ingredients to that to spruce it up. I'm going to make it so that you could add a piece of chicken or some fish. Just make it so it's going to be versatile, more than just a vegetable soup. Something that you can put in the freezer and have as a quick staple for any night of the week. So just follow me on this little journey. We'll make ourselves a nice pot of soup. So the other day I'm out at one of those discount stores. Not the dollar store, but not your high-end grocery store. And I come across this. It's a little, package of soup. Now, I'm not here to endorse any products, so the name means nothing. I'm not saying go buy this. But I see this and I say, oh, yeah, this thing is probably loaded with salt. And I take it and I look at the side and it says, it's only 30 milligrams or 1% per cup for my sodium. And I went, oh, that's a little hard to believe, considering there's 2 other packages there of a different variety that were just loaded with salt. So I figured, for $1, I'll give that a try. And, I come home and I'm actually pleasantly surprised. Like, normally you get your soup, it's already prepackaged, everything is in one pouch or one box. This actually came in 2. I have all my grains, all my peas, there's beans, there's some pasta, there's barley, everything in there is one pouch, and then my salt's here. So I could actually control the amount of salt that I put into it. If anything, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this, throw that away, and then I'm going to use everything that's in my kitchen. Everything down from some more vegetables, so some canned tomatoes, some bay leaves, some frozen corn. I'm going to spice it up with an jalapeno. And then, for flavor, I'm actually going to use this. And again, I'm not here to endorse products, but, if you look hard enough, you can find these things. And this is a sodium-free chicken broth or, a bouillon. And, you can buy the liquid stuff as well. But I'm going to take, pretty well everyday items or things that you can easily have in your kitchen. I'm going to spruce up this Dollar Store pouch, which I think is a great bargain, considering you can't get that just, you can't go out and buy just one pouch like that. Or at least, I guess you can, but it's, doesn't come without a price. So, let's take these ingredients. Let's make a nice pot of soup and something you can have in a staple in the freezer for weeks to come. Okay, I have my stock pot here. I just dug it out of the closet. I don't use this guy every day, but it does come in handy when I'm going to be making, soups, and I'd make something, I guess a good portion of it. It's not very big. It's perfect for me, which is, just single guy. So I'm sure if you have a family, you probably have a bigger one than that. I don't know how many gallons or cups that is, so I can't tell you, but I'd rather be safe than sorry when it comes to making the soup. I don't want to have it where everything's right up to the top and you can't stir things properly and you got it overflowing. So, if I have, if this thing is not quite full, I'm happy with that. So, I'm going to follow the direction to a certain degree. I'm not here to play by the rules today. This is my kitchen. I'm doing things my way. So the pouch says 7 cups of water, bring it to a boil. I'm going to do things a little different. Got myself 4 cups of water here. I'm going to pour that in. Then I'm going to actually substitute the remaining cups with this. And I know if you saw that in the corner of the screen, you probably thought, what in God's green earth was that? That's actually a chicken stock that I made and froze in an ice cream container, or a butter container actually, and that's how the shape formed. Now, you could thaw it out, but why waste time? It's going in the heat, so you don't really need to. So let me get it in before I make a mess. Oh, too late, I guess. And it probably doesn't hurt to turn on the heat, but I'm going to bring that to a boil. Making a chicken stock is very easy. Next time you make a chicken, or you buy the chicken at the at the grocery store, but prefer if you make your own, that way you know what's in it. But you take the bones, you put it in a pot, you cover it with water, you add some carrots, some celery, and some onion, and you basically bring it to a simmer, and you leave it simmer for maybe a couple hours. Then you strain everything, and you put it in a container, and you have yourself chicken broth, ready to go anytime you need it. You can add as much salt and pepper as you need, then you know exactly what's in it. But that's what I do. That's going to add me some flavor to this soup. So I need to bring that to a boil. So I'm going to put the cover on, and then we'll be back to add some of the barley and the grains. Woo! I think we got some hot water. If you would have been here, or if I would have had my camera on, I don't know, 10 minutes ago, you would have seen me burn my hand. So, device of the day or tool of the day, pot holder. Save your hands. Holy jeez, that hurt. Anyway, my stock is boiling. I'm going to now add the grains. Anything that comes in a pouch, you should rinse. Just helps get the starch off of the outside. You don't want all that extra starch in your stock or in your soup, so gave it a little rinse. Now I'm going to be adding other things to this soup. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add some more water. I'm going to be adding more vegetables. I'm going to be adding some more seasoning with those bouillon pouches. So that's about 3 cups. I want it to still keep the consistency of a soup. I don't want it to get too thick. I kind of have the habit of making soups and just keep adding things to it, and then the thing is basically, well, it's too thick. I can't even call it a stew. I guess I could, but you really could eat it with a fork because there's not a whole lot of liquid in it. I want this to be a soup, so I'm going to try to add as much moisture as I can. So I'm turning it down. This is going to be on a simmer. Now the package says simmer the beans and the grains about 2 hours. I'm going to be adding some root vegetables to it, some carrots and some celery and some onions. Those are going to need to cook down a bit as well. So probably about an hour and a half point. I'm going to come back and I'm going to add some of the hard vegetables, and then at the 2 hour mark, then I'll start adding all the extra vegetables, the softer vegetables, like the can of tomatoes, and I got some spinach and the peppers, and things that are a little softer and won't take as long to cook. Ultimately, we're probably looking at a few hours for this thing to cook, so that's probably why it's best to make it on a Saturday or Sunday, and then you get time to kill anyway. So I'm just going to go and kick back and watch some TV. So we'll be back about an hour and a half, or in TV time, 2 seconds. Okay, I have to admit, I lied. It's only about 20 minutes after I've done my last step. Reason why I've come back is I actually forgot to put in my bay leaf. Take my pot off. Oh, it's supposed to be a simmer, but you can see it's so sort of a boil. I'm gonna cut the heat back a little bit. A bay leaf, I don't really know how to describe it. It adds like a savory flavor to most soups. Like that's usually where you use it. The leaves themselves are very dry and tough. You wouldn't eat these, so I'm actually going to add these now. These ones are just actually pieces. I'm not going to throw the little piece in here, but usually you get a full leaf. This one I got it in one of those containers at the spice bottles, and it's kind of been ripped up and broken down a bit. So I'm going to put those in. I'm going to stir them in. Reason why I'm going to add them now as opposed to later is that I'm going to want to retrieve these. So if I add them in now, they're going to be a whole lot easier to pull out later because I can just scoop them out, pull it away. Doing it the other way, I would have had all my other ingredients in there. It would have been tougher to find them, unless you know how many you actually put in. You're going to end up having that in somebody's bowl. If you're just eating yourself, no big deal. But if you had company over and you were serving them soup, they chomp down on that, they're going to think you're horrible cook. So I put those in. Okay, so back to the magic of television. And let that simmer about an hour, maybe an hour 20 minutes. This is going to be an afternoon thing, so I'll be back in a flash.